This past week, I played in the hardcore solo self-found Gauntlet race. I've never played hardcore before, and I figured it could be something fun to do because it's new to me and maybe I'd enjoy it, so I tried it out. And the race started off with a really good start for me. And I'm probably still gonna die. I haven't prepared for this at all, so I'm probably about to die like right here. No! Dang it. This was my wake-up call and a good realization for me of how rippy this leveling would be. And I proceeded to bunker down and play safe by over-leveling and way over-gearing for the entire campaign. I still had some close calls, but mostly stayed safe due to way over-preparing for things. I stuck with this plan and had been perfecting my gear and setup in the quarry to optimize safety for the Atlas till I got what would be good upgrades that could only be really improved by getting higher level bases that are influenced items, and I could ride my current gear all the way to the end game pretty much. As you guys may know by now, I love Righteous Fire, and I decided to try and make it work in the Gauntlet to prove Righteous Fire is good. And everything was going well. I just had stomped my first Awakener Guardian Baron. I was level 86 with almost 8,000 life, no shortage of life notes on the tree in my near future, along with strong damage upgrades still to come and getting a 6-link with Conk Effect, that's 50% more damage there. I was going to get my Uber Lab Ascendancy, which is another 20% more damage there, and I was going to get a few perfect Righteous Fire Jewels that I'd slot into my gear, and I wasn't able to do that. Because I needed to reduce a couple remove add lives just to finish them up. But this all came crashing down when I went into an Elemental Reflect map. I had been testing Elemental Reflect that I could do it because I had a low-level Orb of Storms and it didn't phase me at all. Unfortunately, I didn't think this through and I kept leveling my Orb of Storms, so it just kept getting more and more damage, as well as me benefiting damage from Righteous Fire, Elemental Overload, stuff like that, all combined together to make my Orb of Storms actually deal a decent amount of damage, especially if I threw it in the middle of a big pack of monsters. And during the map, I chunked myself pretty good with Elemental Reflect. I didn't know it was Elemental Reflect at the time, but it hurt me pretty good. And so after that incident, I decided to start reading through the map mods carefully to see, like, hey, what did I miss here? Why did I just get chunked for a bunch of HP in a low white map? And while doing that, I was mindlessly circling around my character in the map while there were still monsters around, trying to read these things, which was ultimately my downfall. I died. I was reading the map mods. I was like, why does this feel so dangerous to me? Now, I never knew this was a thing, but apparently these Revenant Spider guys spawn these detonate dead corpses, which chunk for huge amounts of damage. And because I was reading mods and aimlessly running my character in circles, basically, I ran right back over them, and that was the end of me. I was dead, and I didn't even see it happen. I wanted to go out in a blaze of glory doing boss kills for the event. Instead, I got this. It was a hard lesson, but I learned it. Now I know that those Revenant Spider dudes, they make corpses. They have this little red flare that goes up in the air, and they will kill you if you decide to run back over them. And I've probably died to them tons of times before in Softcore, never knew what it was, never cared enough to go back and try to look at the footage and see why I died. Now I know. I learned that lesson, and hopefully I won't make it in the future if I do these events again. Overall, I'm glad I did the event. It makes me interested to actually try in events like this in the future, rather than start 2 days late without any preparation. So that wraps up my experience with the Gauntlet. I'd like to leave you guys with this. I am kind of dying down on the league now. I'm kind of leaning towards working on more specific YouTube content, like how-to videos, crash course videos, stuff like that. I'll probably make a post for people to comment on about, hey, could you go over this, could you go over that? Something like that is what I'm leaning towards doing. I'm probably going to start streaming a lot less now in preparation to try to make a good amount of decent YouTube content for people preparing for the new league, stuff like that. And yeah, that wraps up that. I appreciate you guys all watching the video, and I hope you have an excellent day. Thanks for watching, guys.